Who is a Canadian? What do they look like? Can you tell by their accent, their walk, personality? What defines them? Ethos? What is the ethos of Canada? Can it be defined from our looks, geography, government, history, culture, social institutions? Or can it be derived from the name of our country? And why is it we care? We are Canadians, and this is a documentary.
They're white. I know. I thought they're blonde. But I don't know.
For me, it's tall, blonde, pretty muscular. The kind of guy that hunts with this big gun and stuff.
And they wear camouflage clothes and boots and dogs.
It's a redneck, not a Canadian.
It's a redneck, basically.
Canadian stereotypes permeate every corner of the world, resulting in a Canadian identity which depicts something like this. But does that hold true for an actual Canadian?
Plaid shirt, long hair, lumberjack looking guy, pretty big, plays hockey.
A Canadian doesn't look like what we used to stereotypically think a Canadian look like. A Canadian can be any color, any race, any size, any sexual orientation. A Canadian is whatever that individual is. What does Canada mean? Literally the word Canada.
Big country.
What does Canada mean?
Canada means
the
land
US
of free.
says they win, we say we win.
How would you describe a Canadian?
Very friendly, very apologetic, very sincere.
They speak real nice and they say a lot, and I love that.
How does a Canadian talk?
How does a Canadian talk? Usually very polite. There's a difference between British English and American English, and Canadian English somewhere in between.
I guess accent's kind of relative to what country are comparing us to. Like compared to Americans, not really, but a lot of European countries we do.
Okay, this is the Great White North, okay, on the map. Now here is different color because it's like USA. And up there, same color as Alaska, because that's like Hawaii. Okay, so the whole thing is the Great White North, and the blue, like the ocean, right, because water's blue.
He's a genius, eh?
It's like, these are like the Great Lakes, and there's 3 of them. And this is Hudson's Bay, where you get like those striped coats. Yeah. Okay, now these are all the provinces.
Name the Great Lakes.
Erie, Huron, Superior. Ontario? Is there Lake Ontario? Yeah. That's all I know.
Lake Superior, Huron, Erie, Ontario, and
How many provinces do we have? And territories?
13. 9 provinces and 3 territories. So, oh wait, no.
3 territories.
There's 3 territories. believe I messed this up. Wow. Okay. Let's see. Prairies, Quebec and Ontario. 1, 2, 10 provinces and no. Oh my god.
9? Add them all together. Provinces and territories. Provinces. 9 provinces, 3 territories.
4, 10 provinces, 3 territories, and 13.
We have a strange relation to our the environmental conditions around us. I think that our relation to the wilderness and to the snow and the winter and the hardships kind of help define us.
So, what is it we know? We know that the Canadian ethos is not based strongly on our image or the way we speak. It is not contributed solely on the geography we had to conquer in order to survive here, nor was it contributed to from our awareness of Canada's cartography. In fact, most know very little about Canada's orientation as a country. So, what is it that contributes to the great Canadian ethos? If it's not the physicality of the country or the persons within it, what creates the ethos? And what is the ethos if its obscurity is a defining feature?
Who is Canada's head of state? I don't know. I can't remember.
A person.
Head of state?
Yeah.
Harper? Yes.
The Queen.
As Queen of Canada.
Okay, so we as Canadians may not tie our identities to our monarchical roots, but our conquest over the United States in the War of 1812 must have defined us both internally and externally?
I mean, Elizabeth, I don't know.
Okay. Who won the War of 1812?
I have no idea. Canada?
Well, the Canadian textbooks say we did, and the American textbooks say they did. But I think it's really a tie. Because it ended in armistice, which is like a stalemate.
In keeping with Canadian stereotypes, our nationalism never overshadows our so-called friendly demeanor. Our conquests and war are not exuded through our individual or national identity. However, should there be some recognition for those who go beyond Canada's humble attitudes and accomplish something not only for the country, but internationally as well?
Who was Tecumseh?
Tecumseh. Sounds Indian, so I would guess an indigenous chief.
I don't know, some hero from Canada.
Who was Tecumseh?
Who was what?
Tecumseh.
I haven't heard of that term before.
Okay, who was Tecumseh?
Who?
Tecumseh.
Tecumseh?
Tecumseh.
Tecumseh, that's funny.
He was a native.
American chief of the Native American tribe, I think. Was it Mohawk? I'm not sure. He rebelled against the Americans who lived there and helped the British in the War of 1812.
One German and one Canadian. Maybe asking about a Native American war hero was too trying, considering our still somewhat segregated society. Perhaps someone who's made a lasting impact in both Canada and the world will provide more results?
Name a Canadian Nobel Prize winner.
I don't know.
There were none.
Mary Antoinette. No! 50 Cent.
Name a Canadian Nobel Prize winner.
Sir Frederick Banting.
What was Sir Frederick Banting famous for?
No idea.
I don't know.
Sir Frederick Banting.
McDonald's.
Frederick Banting. Insulin? Yeah, insulin, am I right?
I don't know.
She's the funny eater of Tim Hortons.
I have no clue.
Insulin.
So, Canadians do not define themselves individually or internationally by the accomplishments of fellow Canadians. Being polite, we as Canadians do not boast about our accomplished individuals, but rather tend to forget those who made a large impact within our country and the world.
What is Canada's official sport?
Lacrosse. It is hockey. No, it's football.
Lacrosse.
What is Canada's official sport? Okay, this is a trick question.
Lacrosse.
It's lacrosse.
Who scored the game-winning goal in the Canada-Russia series of 1972?
I'm assuming Canadians know it's probably Russian.
Paul Henderson.
Paul? Mackenzie's last name. Henderson. Paul Henderson.
This is the stuff that you see and hear with your heart and your stomach. There's nothing like it, folks. Heavyweight championship fight.
And so the battle has begun again.
The pressure mounts by the minute.
They're all ready for the face-off now.
If I live or if I die. Listen to the crowd.
Canadians may know little about the history and geography of this country. However, nationalistic pride is exuded from a pastime all Canadians are familiar with: hockey. Hockey is the one subject which peels away our polite and friendly dispositions and regionalistic attitudes and unites the country from coast to coast.
Is marijuana legal in Canada?
No, but it's widely used.
In BC, it's getting legal.
Hey, if you smoke it in the street, they will not say something to you, but if you sell it, they will, like, take you to the jail or something. I don't know. Something like that. Or that's in Ottawa. Or I don't know. No.
Illegal?
Is marijuana legal?
Legal?
No.
It is not legal. It is illegal, but it is mostly goes unenforced.
Hey guys, $10 a gram! Weighed at 1.5 and I also got butter. Here on Global Television.
You'd never know it, but most of these people are breaking the law, and the law enforcement doesn't seem to mind.
How are the sales going?
Oh, wicked.
Yeah?
Pocket full of money, it's going awesome.
I want to get high.
Tens of thousands of people packed the streets around the Vancouver Art Gallery for 420, the annual celebration of cannabis culture. But it's not just a love-in fueled by copious amounts of pot. There is a political point too.
If you chose to go an hour south, you'd be able to possess marijuana freely. And that's a place making progress, and that's what we need here.
Do we have a death penalty in Canada?
No. Awesome.
No.
No.
Do we have the death penalty in Canada?
No.
Is gay marriage legal in Canada?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yes, it is.
No.
Is it?
Is gay marriage legal in Canada?
Yes.
Yes.
What is the second language required in all Canadian schools?
French.
French.
Who first colonized Canada?
The Germans. Vikings.
The Germans.
No, the French. Sorry, the French.
I don't know. I don't know.
Johnny McDonald.
I forget.
The French. Well, okay, the natives were here first, but I mean colonized. When you say colonized, it was the French and the English.
Canada's rich mosaic began with the colonization of this country and was furthered with the Quebec Act. English and French separatist societies coexist within the levels of our government, education system, and in the regionalism of the country. As Canadians, we are globally renowned for minority appeasement in all aspects of our culture and country, and continue to encompass all minorities within our evolving Canadian society. The Canadian ethos is as hard to define as the people it embodies. The obscurity of it alludes to an undecided people. As an intangible idea, it is impossible for a single event or person to unite a country from coast to coast. Canada is a society of individuals who have decided upon being a collective. The Canadian stereotype from around the globe is now a dated image. Derived from the pleasant settlers, the external view of a Canadian has not evolved as the modern one has. A Canadian stereotype cannot exist when the country is founded on accepting and cherishing immigrants from all cultures. Canadians are the faceless individuals of the world. We portray a variety of faiths, cultures, and ethnicities, which lead you to examine multitudes of countries when analyzing us. Our invisibility correlates to our ethos as the undefined and obscuring trait. We are English Canadian, French Canadian, Indian Canadian, Chinese Canadian, German Canadian, African Canadian, the original Canadian, Aboriginal, and everything in between. Canadians have no need to be overly patriotic or nationalistic because we are a country of people who want to live here. We create a nationalism based on the love of countries and cultures we bring onto this land. The true North, strong and free, is united by uniqueness. Uniqueness in our geography, our heritages, and appearances. We created a Canada by conquering the landscape and terrain we thrived on. New Canadians continue to do this, only more so to our ethos now. They come bearing knowledge from their forefathers and amalgamate these traditions and cultures into the evolving Canadian identity. Canadians may not be aware of the names of individuals that have fought to forge our land. However, every day they attempt to follow in their heroes' footsteps. Canadians don't view history by the land it's passed through, but by the memories and ideas passed on to them from generations gone by. The Canadian ethos is as understated as our Canadian pride is. We are a population brought together through similar values and work together in hopes of creating a country which justly embodies and enforces them. Together, we are paving a path through the undefined, a path which is as rocky as the country we carved out of the land. Canada is a global village, brought together in the hopes of becoming a collective of individuals and finding the ethos of this diverse country once all the debris has been cleared.